What is going on, guys? It is Velocity Reaper here, and we are back again with another set of patch notes to run through. And these are actually relatively short patch notes, so I feel like we can get through them pretty well here in pretty much around 7 minutes, I think, total. So let's aim for that. But let's get right into it without further ado. So V6.31 patch notes. Get pumped, boys. Let's get it. Drop into the fun in a brand new LTM mode on Pump It Up with the new rarities for the pump shotgun. Deploy Rosie with the latest constructor to make this debut. Candy Valley Act 2 arrives. So obviously that has nothing to do with Battle Royale, but Team Rumble, are you ready to rumble? Be the first team to eliminate 100 enemies to earn a victory royale in this limited time mode. And then we do have some details for that a little bit further down. Obviously the pump shotgun is here, so let's move on down to the actual patch notes themselves. Battle Royale. Limited time mode Team Rumble. This is actually really interesting. I read through these just a couple minutes ago, so we're just going to read through them again and kind of talk about them before we get in game to actually show you guys these later on. Probably later on this week. I don't think I'm going to do this today, but later on this week. So, two large teams fight for the victory royale in action-packed mode, where the first team to get 100 eliminations wins. So pretty much team deathmatch. Sounds amazing. Two teams of 20. Interesting. Players will respawn after 5 seconds when eliminated, keeping their inventory. Eliminated players will spawn a random type of ammo upon elimination, as well as a random stack of either 120 wood, 90 stone, or 60 metal materials. Only uncommon weapons or better are available, so that's very interesting. The first team to 100 elimination wins. Weapons and items, we have the new epic and legendary pump shotgun, 105 to 110 maximum damage, which is surprising. I expected it to be around 150 to 160, but it kind of makes sense that 105, 110 is a lot more realistic there. Available from floor loot, chest, supply drops, and vending machines, shotguns will now always apply at least 3 pellets worth of damage if only 1 or 2 pellets just hit, so we already knew that. This is kind of confirmed by Epic earlier this week, or actually earlier last week. Note, bonus pellets can never be critical hits. So that means that if you do only hit 1 pellet and you get the 3, kind of get that maximum damage of 3 pellets, you can't actually have a crit shot from that if it's a body shot. So there's no way that you're going to just get a random headshot just because. Pump shotgun maximum damage and fall off changes. Pump shotgun maximum damage increased from 80 to 85 to 95 to 100, which is beautiful. You can now actually one-shot someone. That is amazing. Pump shotguns will do higher damage in shorter range buckets, but damage fall-offs quicker. This means you'll do more damage to closer targets, but less damage to further targets. So shotgun fights are going to be really good. Also, watch how close you are to the next player. Add extinct bombs to supply drops, which is actually a good change. I think that they definitely deserve to be in there. Remove double barrel shotgun from floor loot. Not taken out of the game, but it was removed from the floor loot, which I don't know if I've ever picked it up off the floor, to be very honest. Mounted turret adjustments. Obviously, this is a big one for us. We kind of knew about this as well. Adjusted the mounted turret collision to make it easier to land shots against anyone occupying it. Remove the ability to repair the turret, which is, I think, a bug that was actually in the turrets. Fix players being able to clip into turret barrels and get stuck. Supply drops will automatically open if landing on a mounted turret, and then drop rate reduced from 1.719 to 0.915. I am 100% sure that this is not going to be a noticeable change every single time. And this one actually is a really good change to fix us getting stuck in the barrels of it, because that happened to me a lot, actually. Even happened in a gameplay, I believe. So, let's see. The mounted turret can no longer be fired through its own floor. Fix an issue with players not having audio cue while gliding, and then fix an issue with the chillers. So, hopefully I get rid of these things. I cannot wait for the chillers to be gone. Gameplay. Again, this is a very short patch note, so there's not much left. Reduce the in-air speed when using the glider redeploy feature in supported game modes. Does not mean that it's back overall in supported game modes. Do not misread that. In supported game modes, not in the vanilla modes of the BR. So solos, duos, and squads. Added functionality that allows the placement of map markers in world without needing to go into the full screen map. I thought this one was kind of interesting, but also unnecessary for some reason. But it looks like if you press left on the D-pad, you'll be able to place a marker in that direction that you're facing. I'm not sure how far that is. I'm not sure how well that works, but we'll see what that looks like in game. This is actually a very interesting change because this is something we don't have for the normal grenades, but we do have for the dynamite. So added the ability to pick up and throw back dynamite with a lit fuse. To throw the dynamite with a lit fuse, get near and use the interact key. So I think this is going to be a very slow thing. I think they're going to have to adjust the speed of how you pick this up, because I feel like a lot of people are going to pick this up and die very, very quickly. So that's going to be interesting. And then increase the dynamite explosion height against players from 192 units to 300 units. Again, an unnecessary explosive buff. These things are going to become just like the C4 used to be, where you could place one and destroy half of the main buildings and tilted towers. It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So this was done to prevent players from being able to jump over the explosion area on flat ground without taking damage. Actually, okay, that kind of makes sense, not gonna lie. That actually does make sense, because they did make it so it's, again, it was like a flat cylinder explosion, which means that you could be over it and easily avoid damage, I guess. But I don't think I was ever in a situation where I thought I could get over it. So, and then this should be our like second to last thing here. So, new tournament Alchemist Pop-Up Cup. Pop-Up Cups are tournament testing temporary LTM modes. Obviously, you guys already knew this. Alchemist will continue our testing of several general adjustments and may offer day to day. So, initial mode settings. Material cap 500. We knew that. That's similar to the last one. Harvesting rate increased by 40%. So, I believe that's higher than it was before. Plus 50 health on eliminations. Now, this is the interesting part. I actually really, really like this idea. So, Storm Surge. If a certain amount of players are remaining by the time the storm finishes closing, the periodically deals damage to players who have the least amount of damage dealt during the match. So, Circle 1 with 60 players remaining, you start to take damage. Circle 2, Circle 3, Circle 4, and so on and so on. So, your highest score on or pin during any event session will now be displayed on the tournament poster in the events tab. Pins will now reflect tournament colors on the event details screen. So again, the point here is that if you're not dealing damage, so if you're playing really, really passive in these, you're going to start to take damage because of that. So you need to actually be aggressive and actually go for kills and do damage. So it doesn't say what the minimum damage cap is for these circles, but I think that what they're saying here is that if people, like the whole lobby itself as a whole, is playing really passive, then this is when you're going to start to take damage. So this is when, like, if you're in the first circle and there's still 60 players left, which is pretty rare, you usually only have about 30, then all 60 of your players are going to start taking damage because you're not playing aggressive, and the system kind of understands that and knows that. So that's actually really interesting to me. I think that's a really, really cool change there. Performance, improvements to level streaming performance on Xbox and Switch, improving building load times during skydiving. Lovely, love it every single time. Audio playing in airfall audio cue volume has been increased. The mounted turret overheat audio loop volume has been reduced. Makes sense. Bug issue, not going to worry about. Social, not going to worry about. And art and animation, also not going to worry about. And then mobile, not going to worry about as well. So that is our entire patch notes, guys. Again, very short, but some good stuff in there. Really cool stuff to see. Alchemist is very interesting. Obviously, the Team Rumble thing is pretty cool. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, sub up, share around for some leaked skins in just a little bit, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.